Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It is Friday, March the 28th, and I am Jana Edwards with Stampin' Ink here to create with you today. We are continuing our birthday celebration series that we started on Tuesday this week. Every week, sorry, I just flung something on me over here. Each week, I choose a Stampin' Up! Product bundle to showcase for you, and we create 4 projects. I go live on Tuesdays at 10, and then typically Thursdays. Today I had to switch to Friday. It was raining really bad the last couple of days, and when it storms, our Wi-Fi kind of goes in and out, so I was having trouble with the Wi-Fi yesterday and rescheduled. Anyway, I want to welcome you. Thanks for being here. I am so excited that you're here. If you're here with me today, please drop your name in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. I should be live on YouTube and Facebook. So just let me know that you're here and where you're joining me from. I always like to know who's here joining me today. I am going to go ahead and turn the camera down to my work surface so that I can show you the projects that we're going to be creating with today. Here we go. Can you see me here? All right, so we are going to be creating, if you missed the live coffee and a card on Tuesday this week, this is the card that we created on Tuesday, and all the information about this project is over on my blog at stampedinink.com. You can go to my blog and you can find out all the information about. I update my weekly class to go page on Mondays and give you a little information about the products that I'll be showcasing for the week. But this is the card that we created on Tuesday. You can find the information under that week's post. There are measurements for it, and there's also a link for the video replay, and I think there's even a link for a reel that I created if you want to watch me create this card in like 3 minutes, I think. Okay, so if you missed it, there's this card for Monday. We are also going to be creating today. We're going to be creating this card with a little bit of heat embossing, and this card right here using quite a bit of, hold on just one second, let me get it. This card here, and then this one here. These are the ones we'll be creating today. I love this set. It is this bundle and this designer series paper. It is so, I love the colors in it. It's so bright and cheery and birthday. And I think you're going to enjoy it too. Let me show you the products that we'll be using. This is the paper pack it's called Wildflower Birthday. Let me get rid of this. This is the paper pack. It's called Wildflower Birthday, and it has the colors Blueberry Bushel, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pool Party, Pretty and Pink, Soft Seafoam, and Gold. I'm going to pull this out for you, and hopefully it has 2 sheets of laser cuts, and I went ahead and pulled all those laser cuts apart and got these, all of these laser cuts from it. There's balloons, there's these little pieces that you can use to paper piece a card together. There are little flowers, so you could use this for scrapbooking. You could use it for cards. Look at these cake images. Aren't those cute? So easy to just create your own cards really quickly, you know, with a birthday. I think I'm going to use, I do. Hold on just one second. I'm going to grab 2 of these. And I think we'll use a couple of these on this card here. All right, let me put this up. Let me get these out of the way. But there are like some large flower images, the large balloons. There's, you know, laser cut little tassel banners. Let me put these away. I'm going to be digging into this today. And let's see, this is the stamp set. It's called Birthday Celebration, and then the bundle includes the stamp set and the dies. So you get these dies which have the numbers. So in case you're doing a specific birthday, like a third birthday, you can do. It has the I thought this one had. So this has all the numbers. It's got little flower images, 2 little banners, and a die here, and a die for a pennant for you, which is what we're going to be using in a couple of the cards. Let me do this real quick. My little dog, it never fails. She wants to go out the minute I start to record. So you'll probably hear her at my feet. Anyway, this is the paper. It's double-sided, so it's got cake images, and then this is one side of the paper, and then it's got a floral image on the other side, which you can see here. This sheet of paper comes together. I had to cut it apart, but it comes together like this, and you can cut all of these tags apart, and then this is the reverse side. And then we've got this side here, and then the double side, it has like a vine pattern on it. We'll be using a piece of this today, or I think we use this Tuesday. There's the cakes again, and more of the same. But it's a really good pack of paper. You could do so much with it. It would be great for scrapbooking a birthday. All right, put this away. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with project 1, which is going to be this right here. And I think I'm going to take one of these and maybe layer it right here on the front for a sentiment. I'm going to put those over to the side. All right, so we're going to start with a piece of blueberry bushel cardstock. And we are going to cut it down to 4 1/4. And score it at 5 1/2, which is a portrait, and this will give you a portrait style card base. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab my bone folder and give that a good burnish. Then I'm going to grab a piece of thick white cardstock, and I don't have another base here, so let me grab that. And I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4. Right? Yes, 3 3/4 by, I believe this is 5. Let's check. I have a little cheat sheet here, which is, let me find it. it tells me what my layers are supposed to be. So let me look. Yes, 3 3/4 by 5. So we are right on the money with that one. All right. I hope everyone is having a good week. I don't know if it's spring. Our spring break was last week, I believe. Week before last. So I don't know if people are still having spring break or not. All right, I'm going to layer that right here. Set this here. Actually, I'm going to put it right about there so you guys can see it. All right, I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Let me go out just a little bit so you can see better. All right, I am using it's called the Plaster Painting Embossing Folder. I'm going to use this just to give my card a little bit of texture. I'm using plate 1, and since it's a 3D embossing folder, you're going to just use the plate 4 on top of that. That pop is normal. Let me move this out of the way. And it gives you this really deep texture. Can you see that? I love the texture of this. We had an embossing folder. It's like a painted brick, I think, or something, textured brick. And I really liked it. Stampin' Up discontinued it. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose adhesive and just put some of this. I like to use the multi-purpose adhesive because especially with these 3D embossing folders, because there are so many grooves in the paper that I just want to make sure it gets a good, it sticks well. So we're going to layer this here. I think that's beautiful. You could do the flowers like this. You could use one of your cakes with several of the flowers. You could choose to do the balloons. You know, you could use whatever you wanted. There's a piece of cake in here. But we are going to use the big flower image right here. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to, look how cute these balloons would be also. Look how cute that would be. Lots and lots of options with this. All right, now I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I have a sheet of them right here. And I'm going to just cover the back of this with dimensionals. Let me grab my silicone mat so I can see. It's hard for me to see against this white background a little, so I'm going to just grab a bunch of Stampin' Dimensionals and layer them on the back side of this die cut. Laser cuts, I guess, is what we're calling it. It might be getting ready to rain again, Penny, because when it rains, she gets very anxious, my dog. If you would like the class kit to go for these projects, I will send you all of the cardstock. You'll need to have the paper pack and the bundle to complete the projects, but I'll send you all the cardstock and any embossing, die cutting that we do that's not included in this bundle of products. I will send it to you in the kit. You just place a $35 order in my online store, and I will send it to you, send you the Class to Go kit as a free thank you from me. All right, so there's that. Now, I really want to do, I think there's, yes, there is a stamp set. I'm going to switch these out real quick. I'm going to take the day here, and I'm going to use the 4 and the U. Can I get these all on one stamp? I bet I can. On one block. Let's see. Perfect. All right. Now I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of paper, scrap piece of thick white cardstock. Let's see what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to use my Blueberry Bushel ink. And I'm going to grab my Versamark and go ahead and ink these up because this is the first time I've used these stamps. And I just want to make sure that I'm filling in any of the little gaps in the stamps. There we go. All right, now let's see about using one of the cute little circles from the Stylish Shapes dies to cut this out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to come off to the side over here and cut this little circle out real quick. Does anybody have plans for the weekend? We're going to go have dinner with some friends this evening. I'm going to run this through. I apologize if the camera is shaking. Maybe, I don't think I like that. I think I'm just going to fussy cut it real quick. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals, which I know I have a few here. And I'm going to take your pick tool and I'm going to just put a few of these down. Take the backing off. Who else loves dimensionals? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now I want to finish it off with some, you know what? I'm going to use the basic pearls just to give it a little sparkle. And then I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock just to finish off the inside. Usually I have a bunch of basic white card bases cut, but I have run out. So I'm going to do 4 by 5 1/4. So basically what I'm doing is what you do is you have this card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if you cut it down 1/4 of an inch, the next layer, then you have this, it's like 1/8 of an inch border around your paper. All right, grab a Stampin' Seal and just oh, come on. Sometimes it just gets, the seal gets stuck. And I'm going to layer that right inside so that when you write out your little sentiment or your words of happy birthday, you can do that. So there we go. There's the first project. All right, so the second one we're going to do is this one here. I'm going to go ahead and get started on that one. I have pretty much all of it cut out, I think. So I'm going to go ahead. Somebody must be here because the dogs are going crazy. So I have a card base. My card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So I scored it at 4 1/4. I'm going to grab my bone folder, give that a good burnish. Go ahead and finish the inside first. Did I do anything? I just did a layer 4 1/8 by 5 1/8 of the blueberry bushel. Only because I just wanted the inside to pop. There's so much going on the outside of the card that I wanted the inside of the card to just have that little extra weight and extra pop. All right. I'm using my liquid glue because when I go down 1/8 of an inch, I want to give myself a little bit of wiggle room, which you don't get with this using the seal. When you use 2 layers, I prefer to use the liquid glue because you can shift your cardstock around a little bit. All right. Go ahead and burnish that again. And we have all our little pieces. Okay. So this cardstock, if you notice here, it's got two different patterns. And so what I did was I just took and I cut 2 3/4 inches off of one side and then flipped it over. You'll see. So I'm going to grab my paper trimmer. Real quick. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer and I'm going to just come right here and I'm going to go 2 3/4 inches, which I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Let's see. Yes. So I'm going to cut 2 3/4 inches. And I'm going to grab my silicone mat again. And I'm going to layer this here. See, I just flipped it over. It's the same pattern on each side, but I'm just going to flip it over and then line the 2 up. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use, like I said, use the liquid glue because, why? Because it gives you more wiggle room when you're putting your projects together. And I laid these down in place before I started gluing, so that way I can just butt it up against this other piece here. So I know I have the right amount of space on each side. I have it centered in that blueberry bushel. Then I'm going to take my 2 3/4 inch piece and butt it up against that piece and just make sure it's even. See, and then you have a nice panel with a little bit of contrast. All right. So then these little pieces, this little piece here was part of the tag sheet that you can cut everything apart. So I just cut it apart, and you could either use this side or you could use the flower side like I used here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down. You cut it from that tag piece, so you don't even really have to measure it. So, and we want to go maybe about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my tag and I'm just using it's 2 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to make a little tick mark at the 1 1/8, so I know exactly where I want to make my hole because I want it to be centered. All right, and I'm just using a 1/4 inch hole punch. I'm going to punch that hole. And my husband is probably going to be coming home soon. Now I'm going to take a piece of this is a Pretty in Pink ribbon. It's called Bordered Ribbon in Pretty in Pink. I'm going to take a piece of this. And I'm going to run it through this hole here. Then I'm going to grab a piece of linen thread, which I wish I hadn't run out of my twisted gold thread, or gold twisted thread, because I really like it. I ordered several more rolls of it, and I'm going to just make a loop because I'm going to try to do a double bow here. I don't know if I gave myself enough. Maybe I'll just tie a knot in it and then trim it. I don't think I gave myself enough room. Okay, so we'll just fix that and we will just tie a knot. I didn't leave myself enough thread to do a double bow, so we'll just tie a knot and trim this off and trim this off. And I know I'm going to have to trim this too. So I'm going to trim one this way and then the other one that way. All right. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals again, and you're going to want to layer your Stampin' Dimensionals onto the back of the tag. And then take these backings off. I hope everybody's having a good lunch break today if you're working and you're getting ready for the weekend. Yay, I always looked forward to Fridays when I was working full time. All right, I'm gonna grab another, and my husband is probably home, so the dogs are gonna go a little crazy. So what I did was I put a dimensional onto just one side, the left side of this little strip of pink. It comes a wider strip in the pack, so I just took it and cut it in half, so it's about a ½ inch wide. And I put a dimensional here, and then I'm going to put some adhesive, some liquid adhesive on the right side, so that when I stick it down to the tag, it's going to adhere to the tag with the liquid glue, but the dimensional is going to pop it up to keep it the same height as the tag is, okay? I'm just going to add a little bit. Sorry. Sorry about that, everybody. They love their daddy. All right, I'm going to put this down right here. And then I have my little stylish shape circle. I'm going to grab the Let's See. I'm going to grab another block and then grab the Make-A-Wish. Stamp. And we're going to grab our blueberry bushel. Open it up. Okay. Then I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to grab my scissors and just trim some dimensionals here. So we can use all of our sides. Uh-oh. Oopsie. I forgot. We have to do the same with this one like we did the other one because we want it to be flush with the tag. I'm cringing. My face is cringing because I'm having to tear those off and rip the paper. All right, so we did the same thing. Take that backing off. And I'm going to glue this right about here. All right. Then I've already pulled some of the little bitty flowers out of the laser cuts. I'm going to use the little blue one. And I'm going to layer it right there. So I'm going to get some adhesive. And glue it down right there. Okay, now I'm going to take our card layer and we're going to put some adhesive on the back and glue it down to our card front, and we will be done with our second project. And I needed some birthday cards, so this is going to be great to have these. I think I'm also going to grab another little should we do a flower inside? Yes, I like that. So I'm going to glue. There's also flower images in the stamp set that you could stamp a flower in the corner too if you wanted. I just really like using laser cuts. I think they're pretty. And let's not forget our little party dots. The party dots are currently out of stock, so you can replace them with the antique pearls that we used on the other card. I'm going to use the peach pie one right here. And I'm going to put one here and another smaller one right there. And there we have it. There's our second project. These, when you mail them, they are going to take a little bit of extra postage, so just remember that, okay? All right, now we are going to create this cute little card. Okay, I have got a Pretty in Pink card base. Start off with that. Put my dimensionals over here. I'm going to layer on the inside just a piece of white. And I used Pretty in Pink. And I stamped the banner. Yeah, I did have that mounted right. I stamped the banner along the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to grab my Pretty in Pink ink pad, open it up. And just stamp our banner along the corner. Close that up. Set this off to the side. All right, I'm going to grab my seal. Since I've just got the one layer, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. Well, it ran out on me. Ugh. It ran out on me. I think I ordered some more of this too, which is good. I placed a pre-order. If you're a demonstrator right now, the new catalog, the new Stampin' Up annual catalog is going to come out. I think it starts May the 5th. So if you want these, I think these products are in the mini catalog and it retires May the 5th also. So if you do want these particular products, please place your order in my online store and get these while they're still available. But the new catalog is going to come out. It goes live for our customers on May the 5th. If you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator or hobby demoist, whatever, as a demonstrator, you have the opportunity to pre-order products right now from the new annual catalog. So that's one of the perks of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, is that we get early access to the online exclusives, the products in the mini catalog, and the products in the new annual catalog. We get 2 mini catalogs a year, I believe, and the 1 annual catalog, and then they do online exclusives every quarter, I believe. So on May the 5th, they will, Stampin' Up will release online exclusives, and they will release the new annual catalog. So you can order products early, pre-order products from the annual catalog, which is nice. So I pre-ordered some catalog items, and I will share those with you once they come in. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this through. I did this also. I ran this through that painted, what's it called? Painted plaster painting embossing folder, which I don't know where it's at now. Oh, it's right here. Okay, I see it. So I ran it through just to give the background a little texture. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my embossing machine and run this piece of cardstock through. I will have a PDF up on my website tomorrow afternoon. So if you would like the PDF with the measurements and products that I used, just check my blog, stampedinink.com, and the PDF will be there with all of the products. Under the weekly class to go, there is a link to my website that has all of the supplies that we used for these projects too, and it'll take you to a link that'll allow you just to add it all to your cart or just see exactly what I used. And that link is also under my weekly class tab on my blog. And it's also, I think it should be under the blog post for the card that we created on Tuesday, during our live on Tuesday. Okay. Perfect. So we have this, and we have our two little banners that I cut out with the pennant die. So I use this pennant die here to cut those out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these two down. I'm looking at my sample here to see exactly how I put those together. I'm going to go ahead and see, you could use these two if you wanted. You could use the cake and the flowers if you wanted. Just, I liked the cakes. And I love the pink plaid. This has a lot of really pretty images, designs on the paper. All right. I'm going to stagger them on top of each other, but I wanted the cakes to be more focal than the print. Just wiggling it around a little bit. Now I'm going to grab a piece of, can I get it out of here? I'm going to use my two hole punches. I have a 2-inch and a 1 3/4 inch hole punch, and I don't think I'm going to be able. Nope. All right, I need to grab another piece of gold foil cardstock, and I'm going to punch a 2-inch circle out of that. All right, I'm going to grab my piece of white cardstock, and I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel. If you ever have trouble opening your ink pads, like pulling them open and you don't want to get the ink all over your fingers, you can put your thumbs here at the corners and push and it will pop open for you. All right, now I'm going to grab oh wait, we're heat embossing this. Sorry. My apologies. I wonder, I'm going to try something really quick. Let me check. Let me clean this. And put these away. I'm going to put the For You away, and then I'm going to try something. Because I really want one that says Happy Cake Day. So I'm going to see if I can get it all on one block. I'm going to use I think if I do this, I'm not going to be able to fit this in. Nope, that won't work. Well, it was worth a shot. All right, so where is, here it is. We're going to heat emboss. I need to clean this. I'll put this away. Clean this one off. Then I'm going to grab my Versamark ink pad. I want to make sure that it's inked up really, really well. Get it good and sticky. Oh, hold on. I need my anti-static, my embossing buddy. I'm going to go ahead and rub it over so that my glitter doesn't stick. I don't heat emboss very often, but all right. My gold. I'm going to grab my gold embossing powder and my ceiling fans on. And see if this will reach over here in camera. And it will not. So let me plug this in under my desk. Hold, please. Okay. It's going to be noisy for just a minute. should get a hook to hang that on. All right, I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and put my powder back in its little bottle. This is Stampin' Up sells a kit, the trays with the little brushes and everything too. And it even comes with the embossing buddy, the anti-static little pad that I used. And what that does is it puts a little powder on your paper so that your embossing powder doesn't stick. All right, now that I have these down, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and glue our card front down. Going in with the liquid glue again. Oh, I almost put that on upside down. Pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, now I'm going to take my 1 3/4 inch punch. And punch out our little center. There's a fly or something in here, a bug. Okay, grab my glue. Something on top of this so it'll okay. I'm going to grab some more dimensionals right here. If you come back and watch the replay, be sure to leave me a comment and let me know that you watched the replay and where you're watching from. I like to know that you guys are here and that you're watching. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the projects. I would really appreciate that. Okay, now I need to find another flower. Since I used this flower on the other one, I need to find another flower to use. So we'll just sort through here and find have little cupcakes. Such cute. Oh, look at this one. That's pretty. I have 2 dogs that don't like the cats, so we have to keep them separated, and when he sees the cats, he gets a little excited. Do you like this? I'll put one of those there, and then nope. How about we use one of the little ones? I think I like that. Take your pick tool. It's got putty on the end of it, so you can pick stuff up with it, which is perfect because sometimes I can't grab things with my fingers. It's a little difficult. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my glue, put a little adhesive on the bottom of this little guy. Glue that right there, and then I took some gold thread and tied a bow, stuck it on a glue dot, and I'm gonna add it right to the top there. And then we're gonna grab our party dots again. And I think I'm gonna use the blue ones on this one, just for something different. And there we go. There's our third project. So just to recap for you, this was project 1, project 2, or project 3, project 2, project 1, and this card was the card that we created on Tuesday during our coffee and a card class. If you would like the project kit for all 4 of these projects, you just simply place a $35 order in my online store before midnight Sunday, and I will send you the kit to create all of these cards. It'll include the card bases, any card layers that we used. You will need the birthday celebration bundle to create the cards, and the birthday celebration, or the Wildflower celebration paper, designer series specialty 12 by 12 pack. Okay, but everything else, you'll get the card bases and the everything else to create the projects. And I hope that you guys enjoy these projects, and I will see you next week on Tuesday at 10, where we will I will showcase a whole new product suite. Okay, we'll see ya. Thanks for joining me. Have a good weekend. Bye.